It has been nearly a month since Colin Kaepernick committed the cardinal sin of exercising his legal and constitutional right to not participate in the ritual of standing for the national anthem of America, when America started looking at law-abiding citizens as enemies of the state. I personally am more disturbed at the aftermath of events that have unfolded as a result of people's disastrous and hazardous responses to this. The Santa Clara Police Union threatened to boycott their security efforts at 49ers games. An Alabama pastor told a McKenzie High School crowd during a game that they should be shot if they don't participate. And just recently, a principal of Collier County School in Florida threatened to make life harder for students who did not conform to this silly ritual. The latter attempted to reconcile the backlash received for this little stunt with the following statement. The statement made by the principal arises out of a context in which students in the stands at a school athletic event were being disruptive at the start and during the national anthem. He has spoken with our students to explain that his statement was based upon the disruption that school administrators observed occurring. The district recognizes a student's First Amendment right to express his or her thoughts and ideas. However, the law recognizes that such a right is not unfettered. If the conduct or action taken based on that right is disruptive, then a school official can take corrective action. This would apply to in-school actions or behaviors at school-sponsored activities after hours. Thus, if a student paid to see a game and sat quietly in the stands during the national anthem, we would not remove the student. The student is seeing the game at that point as a member of the public. If, however, the student is disruptive during the national anthem or any time during the game, then, like a disruptive member of the public, we could ask them to be removed for the remainder of the game. With respect to students who participate in district athletic programs consistent with Florida's statutory requirements relative to the Pledge of Allegiance during the school day, we will work with parents to advise that if their sons or daughters do not participate in the Pledge of Allegiance or the national anthem, they will need to provide the principal with a written note excusing them.
What the fuck?
Basically, the school shot themselves in the foot by trying to pretend the principal never threatened the students when he said, "You will stand and you will be quiet, or else." And to add further insult, they also basically said if a student acts alone when not participating, they have no problem with imposing peer pressure onto them in the form of bullying to get them to participate, unless a parent gets involved. But most likely by then, it's already too late. How convenient. If ever there was a failed attempt at an apology, Collier County accomplished such a feat. Kaepernick is not the first person to exercise his legal right and constitutional right to not participate in the rituals of anthem masturbation. In fact, I've been exercising that right for over a decade, and I've never once got this much attention. I wonder what the major difference is between us that immunizes me from such a backlash for this same wrongdoing. I wonder. Americans love to appoint themselves as the Websters of patriotism. It's only when the opportunity arises at the expense of someone else's integrity that whatever one defines as patriotism becomes a central figure in their daily routine. But I'm here to inform those of you who pose as the mascot of patriotism, I'm not impressed. Patriotism has no absolution. It has no race, it has no nationality, it has no job, it has no blood. It is nothing at all in the end but a state of mind. It is a type of expression, and no expression has an absolute reality. It is up to the individual to design how that expression portrays their message best. Did anyone stop to think that perhaps by exercising our right to not participate in conformist rituals, that we are expressing our own patriotism? It is, after all, most of the backlashers who coerce others' individuality in these times, actually breaking the law themselves by threatening people with bloodshed and stripping them of their education and speech that make patriotism, at least in America, look bad. Freedom is defined not by what freedoms you can strip from your fellow citizens, but by how you work together to maintain your freedoms together. And on a more personal note, in regards to my lack of participation in silly conformist rituals like the pledge and the national anthem, it has nothing to do with questioning my loyalty to America like many want to assume. On the contrary, it's actually the complete opposite. It's actually due to my loyalty to America and its secular values, and also because I'm simply not a fucking conformist. It should be noted that despite a lot of Americans who like to abuse our military servants in these situations to try and propel their baseless bigotry, the fact is, more soldiers have actually defended Kaepernick's right to refuse participation than those who have not. We aren't going away. America is not for those who want to conform. America is for those who want to be part of the individual. Every sort of individual there is. That is America. That is diversity.